Y'all are early. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. If you're in here, just give me a thumbs up and tell me where you're watching me from. Sorry, let me get my phone because usually you know it already. I tend not to share until it's sharing time. So you can say hello. Put this on vibe, turn this down so I can um I'm better able to chit chat with y'all. I feel like I can't see myself. What or is it me? Maybe it's me, I don't know. Or maybe it's the light. Let's turn this a little bit, turn that a bit there. Alrighty. So who are the two people in here? You wanna say hi or no? Don't be shy. Alright, let's see. How do I find this thing now? I always do this. Okay, so you're not reaching it. Thank you. I see one thumbs up. One person. Hi, Max Mike. Hey, New Jersey is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Casey. Welcome. Let me go ahead and share. Thank you both for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I think this is going to be an interesting live. Casey reached long time. I know, right? High five, G's. Welcome. Yeah, man, Casey, you know, like when nobody reached before, you know. Casey likes to be at the front of the class. Let me see. Share. Casey, may I try share all the thing before. So I'm sharing there. Here. Here. Yes, people say that all the time. We sound like we're sisters. So maybe even if you didn't believe us initially, now you believe, right? Because we are sisters. All right, I'm trying to find the thing who to share it to, but she's all right. And then I think it's art. All right, so I shared it out. So here we are. Hey, Lady J, welcome, welcome, welcome. Why do I feel like I have something right here that's sticking out? Never mind me though. That's why I'm not too. Hi, Snapback Trishana. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel like I have not seen you for a while because I've been so up and down, but I'm happy to have you all here. Wait, let me put it on here so I can see what is. Yeah, man, we're definitely siblings. So for those who probably didn't believe us at first, I think now you will see that yes, you know. You are more than welcome. You're welcome. I like to invite people to things that are productive and things that are important to our development. Oh, it's your ads. Look at that. I just turned on the TV. Thank you. Thank you. It will change tomorrow, Lady J, because I'm about to put it back in braids. I'm about to wash it and put it back in braids. I was gonna check Casey this evening and to say, Casey, we need to braid up the hair for me. But I said no, because I got it trimmed the other day for the first time in a long time, and I wanted to do what you call it now, like oh, every time I do this, I keep forgetting that this mess with my lighting as well. Which light did I have? I think this one. Yes, but yes, I want to keep it in the fall locks a little bit. Hi, other side of 50. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I want to keep it that way for a little bit. So at least I know that, you know, I can give it some time to regain its momentum. Because it got clipped a bit, which I don't mind, but yeah, I'm giving it some time. So before we begin, yes, Casey, moderator Casey is reminding you all to ensure that you like the live. So once you come in, you can hit that like button or you can double tap the screen and that is how you can also like the live. Hi, Terry. Thanks for coming by. So once you come in and you say hello, you can tell us where you are watching from. So I'm in Jamaica. Where are you watching from? So I can start it off like, it's V, let's vibe. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. If it's your first time here, I travel around Jamaica and show you how beautiful Jamaica is. Today though, it's a little bit different. I have a treat for you. That's what I normally say in my intro. And I do have a treat for you. I want us to have a little chit chat a bit. I feel like it's, Casey will tell me still if it's up too much or no. Let me see. Are we fine here? I think we should be fine. I wanted us to talk a little bit about something, and it has been something that I have been looking back at, and I'm saying, life is funny sometimes how it reminds you, especially if you have like the Google Photos and that kind of stuff, it will remind you of where you are coming from. So I was quite intentional about wearing this specific top because it is attached to a memory that, sometimes people will say, oh, I want to forget. And as much as I have forgotten, I still honor the memory because of how good God has been and continues to be in my life, right? So let's go ahead first and do our welcome. So our moderator for today is Casey. She's my sister. She has her channel called Casey Inspirational Tale. And you can see her commenting there. It's Casey Kit. All right. So I want to welcome you all to the live this evening, and we're going to just look at some things you see, because for me, I don't normally do the New Year resolution kind of thing. I start my New Year planning from now. Because when everybody gets excited in December and stuff, for me, I should be ready and waiting for the New Year, right? Yes, I'm gonna call this live is now called to order at 7:08. Thank you, Casey. I'm gonna jump in and then I'm gonna big up everybody that I'm seeing in the chat, and then we can take it from there. So if you there's something look good though. Oh, look at me. Hi everyone. Not follow me. So yes, let me go in the chat and see who we have here. So Max Mike Videos from New Jersey was the first one here. Big up yourself, Max Mike. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the live. Casey, you don't know Casey's only one Casey. But yes, Casey is here. Big up. 5G's Family Journey. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Snapback Trishana, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One and only Lady J, welcome, welcome, welcome. Other side of 50, thank you for your compliment, and thank you for joining. And Terry, thank you so much for joining as well. Let me see, I think that is it in terms of the roll call. So I want yes, you want Casey, I want you all to feel welcome here. So thank you very much for joining. Yeah, man, one Casey. So in Jamaica, there's this saying, like people would normally say, one Lady J, never two. So it's just a thought. It's just a way of, one of our many slogans that we have, or the word is eluding me now, but the word is eluding me now, but I can't, yeah. It's just a part of what we do, or dialecting. Yes, so tonight, my topic on for tonight, stop trouble them. If you're a church folk, you know what they're like. Thank you for coming on tonight. And they'll talk about, those things. But I wanted us to be able to just talk about something. So wait, before we do that, where are you watching from? If you're in the US, what state are you watching from? So we know exactly what is happening. Yes, Lady J, up and about. So as I mentioned before, I'm in Jamaica, so and that is where I am live from. and I like to show people my island home, Texas. Oh, look at this, other side of 50. You know, I've been to Texas a number of times. I find that Texas, one, the food is a little bit better because I don't know if it's the mix with the Hispanics and whatever, but and the people are friendly. Well, where I went or where I have been, the people are more friendly than like a New York or so on and so forth. They're saying Virginia. I've never been to Virginia, Lady J, but through you, I have seen it a few times. Casey, I see them asking me about some sticker thing, but I'm not really the on the sticker thing. I'm not the on the sticker thing right now. But yes, who else is in the house? Yes, you're very friendly. I remember a couple of times I would come to Texas, and then when I get back to New York, I'm at the bus stop saying hello to people, and they're looking at me weird. Like they're like, "Weird. Why are you telling us hello?" You know. But yeah. Anybody else, Casey? We know that you're in Jamaica here. All right, so let's get into it. So there's in life, sometimes we focus on the things that we don't do well, and we don't take time to celebrate the things that we actually are good at or the things that we do well. And as such, I decided to end my year. So first of all, let me tell you, so this is almost like my birthday again, because yesterday made 8 years to the date that I was wearing this top, and an experience started that could have cost me my life, could have cost me my mental health, affected my health a little bit, all of those things. But here I am today. And when Google Memory reminded me of it, I said, God, I'm going to wear this and I'm going to show the devil, say, look here, it never worked. You know what I mean? So I am quite grateful to be able to be here. With that said, as we celebrate my other birthday, for what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around for good. We're going to look at some of the good things that have been happening. If you're like me, I mean, okay, see, do this too. You know, we make a list of what we want to do and we write it down and put it somewhere that we want. We can see it and we're able to just, check it from time to time to make sure that we're on the ball and we're able to do things. Then there are days when there are some things, yes, indeed, other side. The enemy meant it for evil, but when I tell you that he just showed up in such a way that it could only be God. I'm telling you, the people that I had around me, everything it was preparing me for that time without me even knowing, and preparing me for what I am now and who I am now without even knowing. And when I look back, I say to myself sometimes, and I say to God, I'm like, God, I wish I trusted you more back then, to know that as much as this process is painful, you are in the center, and because you're in the center, I'm all right. I wish I was that mature back then, but the reality is the experience teaches wisdom, so that is something that we have to, I guess we live and we learn. Yes, God indeed turned it around for good. Hold on, let me mute a little bit. All right, pardon me. So yes, and because of that, I was going through something today and I saw something that asked about, hi there, I'm not sure, it says T22378. Thank you for coming on. Be sure to like the live. Thank you for joining. Yeah, man, when I think about other side of 50, you want me to go into a praise break, man. That's a praise break moment. When I think about how good God has been to me through this time, I am telling you, it makes me smile sometimes when I just say, you know what, God, I was working up myself for nothing. And because of that experience now, I live a different way. So like whatever goes wrong, whatever doesn't go my way, I say, all right, God, I trust that you know what is best. And once you do that, you know you have earthly parents who love you and care for you, and they want what is best for you. And when you experience that love and you think about the fact that God loves you more, you just have to relax. Right, Lady J? Dance like David dance. Or, you know what I mean? It's a vibe. So I came across something today that asked the question, what is something that you did recently that made you very proud? And I thought about it and I said, Miss, you have done a lot that made you proud. And I'm going to use this book for the new year to write my goals in. It's just a little notebook, but you probably can't see it. It says Dream Space. So it's my New Year goals book. But yes. So what is something for you all that you did recently that made you feel very proud? Yes, Casey, a latter will be greater. And we just have to trust God. You see, if we trust God, some of the anxiety and the fear and the worry and the stress that we experience, we don't. We don't have to, because God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. Well, I look like we're having some church up in here, which is fine. I love it. It's a vibe. Let me tell you something. I have to celebrate what God has done for me. I don't care about anybody else, but for me, I know that if it had not been for the Lord on my side, where would I be? So yes, let's go into the things that you are proud of. So I will start, because we're on this topic already. I will start. I'll throw the question out and then you can tell me. I'm going to answer first. So what is something in terms of your spiritual life that you have done recently that makes you proud? I started, I joined a Bible reading club. My best friend was a part of the club from last year, I think, if not the year before. And she invited me a number of times. I always said, boy, I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. And then it got to the point where I wanted to start reading more, knowing more, understanding more. And I said, one way to do that was to join the Bible reading club. So that makes me very proud. Because sometimes, your eyes are tired, but you still commit the time. You say, God, I want to commit this time to knowing more about you and to learning about you. And it's funny because you might feel tired, but the reality is you, when you're on the phone, all of a sudden you're not bad tired. Your eyes are fine, everything. As soon as you start reading, you know. But that is something that made me proud. What is something that made you proud spiritually, if you want to share? I'll give you a moment to type, because I know you all are typing your testimonies, and we're going to have a praise break together. So I'll give you a moment to do that, and then we can move into the other aspect that I'm going to talk about. Yes, go ahead, Max Mike. Definitely. That's why we're here. We're talking about, what is something that, we're sharing testimonies. We're not waiting to the end of the year. This is the time when you look, because it's pretty much December. So this is the time for me when you look back and say, I've done a lot for the year. So Casey said she was reading her Bible more. Good job. Woohoo! Luciana, that's it. You get some bubbles. But congratulations. It makes you feel a lot more accomplished. Okay, you're washing dishes. Oh, so you can't type. But I want to invite you to remember or to think about it, even to yourself, so that you can think about how much you have grown. And remember, I know the year started from January, so it doesn't have to be recent, like it's recent, but you understand. Other side of 50 says, for me, lately, celebrating and investing in me and working on my dreams and God's purpose for me. I went to a seminar last month in Houston, and it changed the trajectory of my life. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Okay. Lady J says, more a listener and slow to talk. That is good. That is a skill, That is a skill, because sometimes we find ourselves wanting to respond, we want to say something, but it is also good to be able to listen. I promised the wife I will give me, okay, no problem, at any time, because we're the whole life is going to be talking about different things that made us proud of ourselves, right? Yes, Casey, how could you forget the book of all the things that you did recently? Big up, big up, big up, big up. Good job. Start showing up for yourself and understand what real love is. Yes, indeed. And that's the big thing, you see, once you understand God's love for you and know how to love yourself, you're gonna lead, as we say in Jamaica. So you're ahead of the game. All right. So for me, I think that's one of the big things. I started out the year and I've always done this, and I said I'm not going to allow it to. I I can talk. I do a lot of presentations, I do a lot of things. I get a little bit nervous, but not so much, right? But for me, when it comes down to singing, as soon as I get there, I don't know, it's like my body just, I just start just getting so nervous. And I said I was gonna do a little bit more this year. I think I did more, but I still could have done more. But I did. So I guess I need to applaud myself for stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit. So that is good. And when I say singing, I mean like, praise and worship, or just different things relating to church activities. All right. So the next one is, and personally, so no, we did it spiritually. So personally, and when I talk about personally, there are a lot of areas. So thank you, thank you. Next year is gonna be bigger and better, hopefully. Cause yeah, we can't at this big age being nervous. Come on, man. You know what I mean? But yes. So personally, I have done a lot of things that have made me proud. One thing that I did, I spoke about it the other day, was apart from the fact that, so personally, I always cherish time with my family. That it doesn't matter how much time goes by, once I'm able to spend time with my family and my friends, I enjoy it. So this year, I took my vacation and I enjoyed time with my friends. I went to my convention again. I mean, I did my blood work, I got my test done, I got my glasses, which wasn't a part of the plan, but I had to ensure that I did that for my own health and well-being. So that is something that I'm happy that I did. And outside of that, I also made myself very proud. Yes, remember to hit the thumbs up button, guys. So for me personally, one of the big things that I did, I went back to Mount Alvernia, and I went back to two of my alma mater, right? So I went back to St. John's University in New York earlier this year, and it was such a pleasure. That's 20 years after I started St. John's, and just to go back and to see, it made me, one sec. All right, sorry. Casey, you know what is what. Anyway, it made me so proud personally, because I, you know, I just, yes. And I spent time celebrating with my friends. I got to see my friends do things. I got to see my family do things, So personally, I feel like that was good. I started walking a lot more this year, pardon me. I kind of fell off in the latter part because there was a change in the location and stuff. So it affected my ability to walk, but I started walking a lot more. And so when I went to Mount Alvernia, that's my high school, I participated in a panel discussion that spoke about, people who left the school and what they are doing now. And it was my pleasure, because I'm happy that I was able to motivate the younger generation and just also give back in a way that I feel like the school gave to me. And I don't think, if I didn't have the foundation at Mount Alvernia, I would not be able to go to St. John's. So going back to St. John's, it was it was so, just looking back and you're saying to yourself, oh, at this time I thought I was such an adult, but adult life never really start yet, you know. No, sir, I could not. I don't have a uniform now, miss. How long that? That's 23 years. Where will I find uniform now? But yeah. But those were some things. So you feel free, while I'm talking, feel free to share something you did personally that you are proud of. I'm going to move to the next step. And then, as I said before, at any time you can just chime in terms of what you did. So for me, financially, what I did this year, and this one deserves a round of applause, brother. I know, right? It would be nice if I could, because I probably could still fit in it, but we just never have done. What I did financially that I am very proud of this year, Casey, do you want to guess? Who wants to guess? Who wants to guess? I'll give you the opportunity to guess. One thing. And if you follow my Growing with VC, you definitely know what it is. So what is one thing that I did this year that made me very proud? Go ahead now, Casey, tell me. What is it? No, Lady J, that was last year this time. You see how life still, you see what I'm telling you, say, for me, I end my year at this time. So any goal on my plan around them time here. Like I don't wait for the end of the year because yeah, I do. So I paid off my car last year. So last year I became debt free. And I still wanted to do that Dave Ramsey debt free scream. I did a little piece of it, but not really. Casey, give yourself a round of applause. Yes, indeed. So I did a no buy year this year. And that is something. So financially, I'm proud that I paid off my car and I did a no buy year. No buy year was difficult because I know I have my watch. And while I'm very simple, the watch is something that I like to wear. When you get in dress, come old school, come whatever, I like a watch. And I think about February, the watch just fell on the face and that was it. I don't know why I put it on the top of the fridge and it fell and that was it. And so, but yes, we're coming to the end of the no buy year. And as much as I'm excited to come to the end of it, I'm so proud. Like it is something that, I stayed away from things that I did not need. During the year though, I needed to change my work shoes. So I did that. And then my slippers, sandals that I wear go out, that one broke as well. So I needed to do those things. So I got those. But even when I went to New York, people, they go overseas, they get so excited about shopping and doing all of this and whatever. I am proud that I just maintained the focus and I kept to the plan. So that is something. So what is something that you did financially that you are proud of? You can put it in the comments. For me, Lady J, it's funny. I wasn't able. I had a goal in mind. I was like, okay, now that I don't have to make my car payment, I'm going to try to save more. Is this? And I was telling Casey about this. So I guess it's an opportune time, since I'm talking about the no buy year and stuff, to segue into this. I have come to realize that that story of the wise virgin and the foolish virgins, and how one store up their oil and the other didn't have enough oil to last them until the bridegroom came. What I found myself doing throughout the year was sharing my oil, and nothing is wrong with sharing. Don't get me wrong, follow where I'm going now. And the fact that I was sharing my oil affected me so much that I didn't get to meet the target that I had. And I don't, as I said, when it come on to sharing my oil, my family and my close friends, they're not included. That they're out of it because I know how they are. and they're not people who exploit people, right? So going into the new year, God willing, the goal is to focus more on getting oil that I can store. And that means to save. Because the reality is, you'd feel like, oh, you're debt free now, so you can save. Well, something or someone always finds use for what for my oil or my funds. And because of the heart that I have sometimes, you feel some type of way of to say, oh no, or I can't, or whatever, whatever. But these days I'm learning. So that is something that I am dealing with. One sec. So yes, so learning to just preserve your oil and keep your oil is very important. And so I am learning that as I go. So starting the new year, I'm going to be very conscious of that. Um, Thank you. Yes, trust me. I've been talking to Casey about this from last month. I was like, look, Casey, I am tired of. I said, that story was shared in the Bible for a reason. You have some people who live their lives and don't plan for anything at all. And once it comes up for them, it now becomes your emergency or your responsibility. And the reality is sometimes you are even afraid to treat yourself. But at the end of the day, you are doing it for others. You have to love on yourself a little bit more. And the part of loving on yourself is storing up your oil. All right? So that is one area. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and feel free, as I said, to share what you have done to make yourself, proud in another area. And for me, I have most of my years, most of the things that I do, I try to share to make my family, my friends, and so on proud. But the reality is, there are some things that you have to do for yourself to be so that you are proud as well, right? Um, the last one is professionally. And Casey, she was reminding me of all the things that I did this year. Some of them I didn't even remember. And but two of them that I can talk about that I want to share with you. And I don't like to talk about things that I do professionally because yeah, vibing with VC is vibing, you know what I mean? But I was able to travel. So that Colombia video that you saw was me traveling, and that was me going to present on something. At first, it's funny because initially I was like, I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure if I. It's not that I didn't doubt that I could, because I know I can. I mean, it's VC. Come on now. Yeah, I'm quite confident when it comes on to that. As I tell people all the time, I'm not shy when it comes on to talking, but it's only the singing that gets to me. So sometimes you don't realize how big of a deal it is until you just sit and think about how big of a deal it is. And so, yeah, I got to experience another country, and that is just because of work. I would not have otherwise. So that is one thing. Another thing is I've also done presentations to groups that I really, never anticipated doing it to. And then sometimes you contemplate to yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, this is big. But the reality is you're thinking it's big, but they're thinking you're big. You know what I mean? Or they're thinking you're doing such a great job. And it just showed me something. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it so I can share it with you all, because I owe a lot of who I have become on this how I was raised, right? So I don't know if you can see this photo. Can you see it? I don't know. The ring light is kind of affecting the ability to see it. Can you see it? Okay. Right in the middle there. So right at the top here, this is me at church, and that was me in a debating competition that we used to do back in the day. And at the bottom here, this is me in a professional setting, introducing someone to become the guest speaker. But I was looking at it and I said to myself, it's funny how you grow and don't even stop to look at it, you know. Hi, Richard, thank you for coming in. You know, sometimes you grow so much you don't stop to look at it because you are in the motion, you're doing the thing, you're doing things, and you're not even realizing that, hey, you know, I am developing. And for me, overall, I know, and I've always been like that, I am more than just work. I am more than just what you see professionally. Some people identify only with their professional selves, but I identify with my whole self. So that is something that, you know, as much as I don't necessarily share a lot of that, that is something that has made me proud, just to watch me develop and watch and inspire. Hello, I've had to be stopping a number of times. Casey, me need your help. Anyway, so I've watched, you know, the development, and that to me, when I look back, and Casey, you can tell me too, what is, you were reminding me about some of the things that made you that I did that made me proud. I think that those are some of them that have really made me proud this year. And when I look at it, I say, boy, you know, boy, VC, you really are going with a little thing. Thank you. Hey, Jamal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, my eating habits. Yes, hey. We cut out a lot of sugar this year, you know. I used to be one that I would, trust me, my part of the meal is the pastry. And no, I just found myself slowly but surely not craving it so much and not wanting it so much. So that is something. Richard, I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not sure. I speak English, so I don't know what is being typed. I want to show you all. What are we in now? 2025? All right, guys. What is it? May? When did I go to Tinger? Was it May? So I want to give you all an idea. Stop that, please. If I hear it again, hold on one sec. One second. What am I looking for? May I look for something? What did I take up this phone to look for? I was looking for something else, you know. Oh yeah, I remember now. All right, so let me find it. Yeah, man, my year started off, even RN to CEO, you know, was she recommended, you know, going to get the testing done and all of those things, and I was kind of hesitant at first, but yeah, it turns out, even the fact that, and the glasses helped me so much, trust me, my eyes feel so much better now. Like the way I used to feel, I can still hear you. The way I used to feel, I don't hear it. I don't feel like that anymore. And I thank God for that. It's so funny because I was of the view that, oh, you know, you have 2020, so there is nothing that can hinder that. But that I realized that, okay, so here we are. So I'm trying to find some photos. So this is from and this is all in my know by year, by the way. I should make a little video of how I repeated my outfits. So this was one of the photos from Colombia. I'll show you all when I was actually presenting. Let me see if I can do that without doing the most. Yes, I can't shift it though, because if I shift it, then see that? That's VC. You see that? Joke. But yeah, so that was me. But yeah, so these things have made me proud. And yeah, so yes, I'm sharing a little bit with you about what made me proud. Feel free to come on and share what made you proud of yourself this year. What are some things that made you proud? Hi, Sean. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yes, those are some of the things, that have made me proud. And when I look back at it, I'm like, boy, I've done a lot. But the reality is, if you don't know, you don't know. And because I don't come on and try to share too much of it. Look at that. Nice. A joke is funny, but there we are. Can you see? Yeah, man. So, yeah, these are the things. All right. So Casey said, I know, right? Nice dress too. I know. Remember when we went to get this dress, Casey? You were not feeling it at all. And look, then now, the dress, I mean, I love this dress so much. It gives me like a regal feel. I wish you could see it properly, but yeah, that's what you can see. Thank you, Joy Computer. Well, all right, so let me go and read some of the comments. Casey, I see you talking about your book. And again, guys, I want us to congratulate each other in the chat. So once I read somebody's thing that made them proud, I want you to just go ahead and say congratulations, right? So we're gonna go ahead and start. Let me go. And I know it's, so we're starting with Casey publishing her book, of course. And remember, Casey has a book that is on Amazon. It's called Casey Inspirational Prayers. Let me put it in here. So you can look for it on Amazon, and it's friendly for all people. So in terms of whether you wear glasses or not, whether you're a child, an adult, it's good. So feel free to pick it up. Max says done washing plate now, so you can chit chat now. We are very proud of all your accomplishments. Thank you, other side of 50. Thank you. I don't normally sell it. I don't usually talk about anything work related kind of vibe, but yeah, I'm a whole person. So outside of my spiritual, personal, financial, professional is a part of it too. So that is very good. Who is next? Well, I am proud of my effects with my website. Bing Search Console presents some data that made me hire some folks for Upwork. Okay, so Max, it sounds like you have a website that you've been working on, and congratulations on that. That is awesome. Thank you, Joy. Yeah, man, it's a regular thing, The Lord beautifies the meek. Thank you. After a few days, I noticed them doing what I really asked for. That's one of the nicest things, when people do what you ask for and don't get it twisted and complicated. I went to my friend ChatGPT to tell it the issue. KC, you got 1,000 subscribers. Hey, KC, next year them time we talk about how you monetize big and stuff. So congratulations to KC. Big up, big up, big up. Just bigger and better things. Bigger and better things coming. We're believing and receiving. In Jesus' name. Sean says 78 days sober, never been so proud. That's great. Congratulations. That is awesome. Trust me, that journey is not easy. I have worked in the area, so I know how that goes. So 78 days is a whole leap. So you just have to take it one day at a time. And that is, look here, That is so awesome. That is something you should be very proud of. So guys, help us give Sean a round of applause in the chat. Give him a round of applause, send up some emojis, because that is very good. That is very good. And I'm sure you feel a lot better in terms of clarity in the mind and just being able to function and so on. Also, you're able to fix the issues, and that is so good. Max, it seems like you're developing and you're doing what needs to be done. So that is awesome. Congratulations to Max as well. I'm just coming down in the chat. Yes, you're proud that you did not give up. Look here, I can say the same thing too. So that is one thing personally. I've almost given up on YouTube a couple times this year, right? And one of the times I remember Lashana was saying, remember when you guys were trying to go to get monetized? We watched. We spent hours to watch and we supported. Is all of that just gonna go down the drain? And when I thought about it, I said, oh my gosh, people have been supporting you on the journey. So you should also not give up, because they're gonna feel some type of way as well. So that is good. Yeah, man. Yes, Sean, AA meetings will definitely help you. The thing about it is, when you are in that area, you need to change. So you're gonna need to change the people, the places, and there's another one. But let's stick to people and places now. So the people that you'd hang around who would cause you to do that, you have to change those. And the places that you'd go that would trigger you or contribute to you doing it, you'd have to change it. A big thing about it is you need the support. No man is an island, no man stands alone. So what that does for you, it allows you to have the support that you will need to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Because where you're in a situation where, one, you might be taking a load on your own, somebody just giving you a helping hand, even by listening to you, they probably experience what you're going through already. They know other coping mechanisms. All of those things will be very beneficial. So congratulations again, Sean. Continue to go to your meetings. Continue to just put yourself first, put your health first. Don't give up. And, just continue going no matter what. And that is something I think should make you very, very proud. That is almost 3 months. Yeah, man, a whole heap of time, whole heap of opportunities to relapse and to do. And we don't even want to speak those words. I take that word back, but you know what I mean. There are different challenges that must have presented themselves, and you are here and you're able to talk about it. So that is very good. One day you're going to be able to look at somebody and say, and you're probably doing it now, to say, look here, I was where you were, and this is how I came out of it, or how I developed. All right. So congratulations. Anyone else wants to share what is something that they did that made them very proud recently? Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Max. That's nice. This is very nice. $700. Well, in the grand scheme of things, as long as it is beneficial in the long run, it shouldn't be too bad. So that should be good. I like people who think about their tomorrow, their future, and so on. We're in a generation now where people say, oh, YOLO, you only live once, but you don't want to live silly once. Not that you want to enjoy life, but at the same time, that is something that you have to be mindful of. And if you're a Christian, the Bible tells you to look at the ants, how they store up the food that they will need for when the time, I think is the winter. So that tells you too. So while it says, don't worry about what tomorrow will bring, it also tells you to be wise and to store up stuff. And it means, because there's going to come a time where the winter in our lives might be age, it might be illness, it might be unemployment, whatever that winter is, you have to store up something for when it comes. right? So yes. Um, T2378 says, I help people focus on goals. I do hypnotherapy. Oh, that's interesting. I've never really heard about hypnotherapy, or have I? I've never really engaged in it. I know about psychotherapy, sociotherapy, play therapy, those things, but I don't know about the. So tell us a little bit about it. I'm sure we'd want to hear a little about it. And guys, it's almost time for me to. This time went by so fast. That's good. So almost time for me to jump off here to get ready to go watch KC. And sure, but also wanted them to know. So we know what hypnosis is, and we know what therapy is. So I'm assuming it's a combination of both, where you use those sessions to help people to get. Is it like tragic events or traumatic events that they would want to almost repress in a sense, so they don't have to remember so much of it? Is that the case? And then who are most of your clients? Are they adults, children, older adults, males, females? More likely that. I'm assuming it would be females, but hey. But that's the beautiful thing about life, you know. I came on here this evening because I was feeling so proud of where God brought me from. I went through a heck of a time, a difficult time. You see this smile that I wear now? Earned every part of it. Mind you, I smile long time, I don't know. But I earned every portion of this smile. I have gone through the ringers. I have watched God restore. I have watched him heal. I have watched him show up in so many ways. If I begin to even tell you, not gonna believe me. Hypnosis simply helps the mind relax so deeply that positive change becomes easy. It quiets stress, sharpens focus, and opens the door for healing, confidence, and peace. You stay in control, and I'm assuming you're saying you stay in control the entire time, but I'll allow you to finish thing there. But yes, you know, God is truly amazing. And what you say, Lady J, you believe, me not have to convince you. When I tell you, and Casey can attest to this if she's not gone to set up yet, the VC that is here now, man, so much growth has happened. I'm still hearing you, by the way. So much growth has happened, so much joy, so much. So much healing. Yes, see this? She's telling you, yeah, man. So when I look at what the Lord has done, you know, man, it's almost like I want to do a praise break, because I was looking. Yesterday was officially 8 years that, as I said, I was wearing this top when everything just turned upside down. But the reality is God brought me through. And I'm going to share one last photo with you without hopefully revealing too much. And this is what brought me to thinking that, hey, V, you are just where you had to have that season to come to this season. I don't know if you can see it. I remember when VC step out, and take me lightly. Make KC tell about me. When I'm out and about, I'm out and about. Even during my no by year, you can't ramp with me, because God just beautifies. See that? And it made, when I was looking at it, I said, you had to have that season to come here. Yes, I still fit it. Yeah, man, you probably have not been here. And feel free to subscribe so you can see when I'm live. I'm not always live. We know this, but I had to come celebrate my birthday, And I chose to celebrate it in a way that remembered and focused on the goodness of God and how great God has been. So sometimes when we remember some things in life, indeed, praise break indeed. Sometimes we remember things that have caused us to go through trials and tribulations, and we remember them and we say, Jesus, and we get saddened and we get down, and the reality is it had to happen for you to get where you are now. Sometimes it's hard, because if I had to choose, I wouldn't choose that. It was definite. That's the term, Lady J. It was a cleansing. Indeed, it was a cleansing. Sometimes if we have to choose, we don't choose it. Because look at Joseph, right? Joseph had his dreams, but he never knew how they would come to reality or what would happen to get him to that place. Because I'm sure if in those dreams God had shown him that he would be now thrown in a pit and sold into slavery and go, hello guys, bear with me there, and gone to Potiphar's house and get in a problem with the wife after run out left shirt and get locked up and all of those things, he probably would have said, you know what, Father, it sound good. The palace sound good, but you see the in between, I can't manage. And if you follow that story of Joseph, you realize that he came back around, and that has been my testimony, Yeah, man, the cleansing is so rough. He came back around to when he got his two sons before the famine. He named one Manasseh. And that meant that God caused me to forget, like the trials and all of those things. By this time, he was now in the palace. So he's not in the pit anymore. He's in the palace. But God caused him to forget all of those things. And the second one was called Ephraim. And the meaning is God caused me to prosper in the place that I was afflicted. That alone is a praise break right there. You understand? Because sometimes we focus so much on what the process that we have to go through that we fail to stop and say, God, look where you brought me from. So if I didn't do anything else tonight, I hope that I reminded you to just stop and reflect on how good God has been, the work that you have done for yourself to make yourselves proud. Don't focus too much on the weaknesses, while there will be another time that you focus on those. So you have to know them in order to strengthen who you are. You just need to know that you focus on the strengths at this time. All right, so I'm gonna wait a little bit until Casey comes in, and then I will jump off. Hold on one sec again. I don't know what I did, Father friend. Oh, watch here. I was just up in the camera. No, it feels like it's a little close. Same way. But hey, it's almost time to jump off. I'm just waiting on, yeah, Casey. I'm still muted? No, I'm back. Okay. So I'm just waiting on, Casey, you're not going live. Are you married, Panina? So we can jump off. Why do I feel that? I don't know. I think I zoomed it up or something. And I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to mess with it. But, so I'm waiting on you to come on. And then I can jump off. Yeah, man, me up close now. Oh, Lord. But I'm not going to touch it. I'll push it out a little. Maybe that helps. Yeah. But, yeah. So yes, folks, I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening. I want to thank you for spending the time with me reflecting on the things that have made you proud, the things that you have done well for this year, and hopefully this will help you to do things better in the new year. I know we're still in November, but this is how I operate. I like to think about things in advance. So I like to be able to just, think about it so I can plan. So at the end, I can write down some of the things that I want to do, I've been hoping to do, and so on. And I hope it will inspire you to do the same as well. So I thank you very much for watching me. I am inviting you all to remember to check out Casey's book. It's called Casey Inspirational Prayers, and it's available on Amazon. Also check out her channel. It's called Casey Inspirational Tales. Feel free to like, subscribe, let her know. She's coming live right now. Thank you so much, Other Side of 50. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lady J, for coming. Yeah, man, definitely staying focused on God, because God has been too good to me to not focus on Him. Thank you all for being here with me. Thank you all for the support, the love, subscribing, chit-chatting with me, all of those things. And I will definitely be giving you more content in the coming days, weeks, so on, and trying. But who's live? Casey. So let me type in the chat what her name is. Here's the thing there. It's called Casey Inspirational Tales. So you can look for that on YouTube and you will find her live. So again, folks, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I want to remind you all to stay inspired. Look at all the things that you have done to make yourselves proud and work on doing even better in the coming year. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next parish.